Hello there, I'm Tim Buckley. I'm a driver trainer for Buffalo Logistics and Facilities. I'm here down at Ellington today to show you how to reverse a trailer onto a bay. Okay then, from here what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've got my unit connected to my trailer and I've made my first approach and set myself up. What I'm going to do is reverse this trailer onto the bay, following the lines. Okay, I'm going to stop short, which will allow me enough space to open up my trailer barn doors. Once I've opened up my trailer barn doors, that is the last safe moment because the food and produce that are on this trailer are set at the required temperature for this distribution centre. So I need to make sure at the last safe moment I open the doors to alter the temperature. I will then raise the suspension on the trailer to make sure the trailer is at the right height to sit on the bay. I'm going to do that and get to that point right now. Okay, at this point, I believe myself to be in a suitable position, close enough for me to open the trailer barn doors, have a quick check just to make sure that I am at the right position, just to get onto the bay, and then start raising the rear of the trailer suspension to make sure it's level with the bay. Very important to ensure the barn door is secured on the side of the trailer using this locking mechanism. Situated in this lug here, press down and will not come open. It's very important then that you do one door at a time, both hands, firm grip, just in case a gust of wind, these are heavy, and a gust of wind will take the door. Okay, so you just need to be very mindful of that. Exact same on this side. So looking at this trailer, if this was going to be loaded because it is empty on this bay, I'm going to have to lower the suspension. Okay, not raise it, I'm going to have to lower so that the top bed, or this bed, is level with the bay that I'm going onto. The way I do that, down at the corner, okay, we have a blue handle. I will push that inwards and turn it to the left, and that will start to lower my suspension. The reason I'm lowering it now is when I reverse this trailer and I press it up against the bay, there is a lot of weight that's pushing against the bay itself. So when I lower the suspension, it may cause damage to the bay. So I preempt this by lowering it first. So when I am on the bay, I may only have a couple of centimetres, maybe less, that I will need to lower it. As opposed to dragging 44 tonne or 45 tonnes worth of vehicle down the bay that's being pressed up against. All I did was just let go, and that trailer, okay, will stay in that position, lowered, ready for me now to reverse back onto the bay. You may have to raise the suspension onto the bay. Use this handle here, you will depress it to the right and move it to the right hand side, and that will allow your trailer suspension to raise up. Your airbags will start to lower because they are pushing the trailer up. Now, what is very, very important when you are raising your trailer is you do not let them get so low that when you reverse, you're going to drag them and potentially damage them and potentially render your trailer VOR, okay, by lowering them too far and dragging them across the floor. You just need to be mindful. For me, I would let them get to around about that sort of position and stop. There's enough clearance on this hard standing for me to be able to drive backwards and not damage them, and then I would raise the suspension once I'm pressed up against the bay to the required height. Equally, when you're coming off the bay, make sure that you lower and they are raised up, so when you drive forward, you do not drag them along the floor and risk damaging and rendering the trailer VOR. In this position, it will allow you then freedom of movement to move the trailer off the bay to be able to close your trailer barn doors, right, without damaging the airbags at the rear. Okay, I'm happy now that the trailer barn doors are open and secured. I've lowered the suspension due to the need to be loaded from this particular bay onto the top deck, and I'm now going to reverse the trailer onto the bay nice and slowly so that I touch up against it engage my park brake, I'll put it into neutral, I'll turn off the unit, and then I'll come out and have a look just to make sure, all right, that everything is fit for purpose on the bay and I don't need to make any adjustments. Okay, so now I've reversed the trailer onto the bay, did not bang it onto the bay, nice and smooth until I felt like that resistance. At this point then, into neutral and brake on, or park brake on the unit, and I'm going to come down and just check that the rear of the trailer is situated on the bay in the correct manner. Okay, I may need to make some alterations in terms of raising and lowering the suspension, and what I'll do is I'll just have a quick look round the back to see where the bay is in relation to the trailer bed. So I am at the correct angle, right, and the level of the bay is in keeping with the level of the bay in the bed of the trailer, the bed of the trailer, should I say. So I'm happy that that is all in good order. There's only one more thing that I would need to do is fit the Anderson lead, all right, for power into the trailer, for the lights, and for the warehouse team to be able to operate the raising and lowering of the bed should they need to, okay, on the deck itself. Here we have the Anderson lead. Just going to do a quick visual inspection to make sure all is in good order. There's no dirt, grease, grime, any breakage, all right, any damage to the line itself. All right, then just fit it to the trailer coupling like so. And a top tip, what I always do is I leave this in this position, okay? Or if you have a DAF or a Scania, pulled outside, because then you don't forget when you are coming off the bay and you've closed your trailer doors and you're thinking about your next collection or delivery, you don't forget that the Anderson lead is attached, because whenever you get into the cab and you look in your mirrors just before you pull off, you will see that this is not in the correct position. And it's a reminder for you to take off the Anderson lead. Because if you don't, and then you turn, a sharp turn round a roundabout or at a junction, you could pull this away from the trailer and snap it. If you snap it, you may not be able to operate the deck at your next location. And that is a big problem for you as a driver. So that's just a top tip, right, that I would always use, and I certainly do whenever I'm on deliveries or collections. That concludes reversing the trailer onto the bay.